If you've been waiting for GPUs to finally get in stock, well, I have some good news. Every day is getting better and better, and today is the largest amount in stock of GPUs you may actually want, like 3070 Ti's, even 3090s, that I've seen in a very long time. Look at this. This is at Micro Center. I know not everybody has them, but this is an indication of the market. Look at that, 8 in stock. Nobody really wants that because it's too expensive. 3070 Ti, $979. That's a little better price, 9 in stock. Look at this one, 25 in stock. That's a Supreme X, which is actually a very good model of the 3070 Ti. But wait, we still have to talk about prices and if it makes any sense to buy at this point. So let's get started. Something that's priced pretty good is a Windows CD key. Today's video sponsor is going to be VIP-CDKdeals.com. Very simple process. You can get a Windows 10 Pro CD key and remember to use code CC20 for a nice discount. Hey guys, Tiago with Classical Technology here. They say that every time you smash that like button, GPUs start to come in stock, 25, 50, 75, 100. We need big numbers like that to change everything around. So today I was surprised when I checked the website of my local Micro Center, and I know not everybody has them, but they're a pretty good gauge as to what's going on in the GPU market. Now, I looked and they had a massive amount of GPUs in stock. We're talking about, for example, an MSI 3070 Ti, a Supreme X, which is a pretty high-end GPU. It's going to be one of the best sort of 3070 Ti's you can get. That one, MSRP was under $1,000, I believe $979 or thereabouts, and they had over 25 in stock. If you look, there are other 3070 Ti's, even from Asus, that they have a large amount of stock. We're not just talking 2 or 3 GPUs here, we're talking 18, 20, 25 GPUs, and if you put everything together, we're talking about over 100 GPUs, and that's just in one particular store. Not to mention that other GPUs, like from AMD, prices have gone down a little bit, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later, and they're definitely massively available. You can easily walk in and pretty much choose whatever GPU that you want. And then of course the big question is going to be, should you buy a GPU at this point? There are a few factors you have to know. First, we're going to talk about upcoming GPU releases like the RTX 4000, and then secondly, an MSRP pricing now is much higher than it used to be, so that means, is it worth it to purchase one of these GPUs? So first, let's address the time frame of these GPUs. While the RTX 3000 series is still performing amazingly well, 3080, 3090, 3070, even 3060s have proved to be very capable GPUs, we are pretty much going to be on the heels of a new GPU release at the end of this year. That means if you pay the expensive price right now for something like a 3070 Ti, even if it is technically MSRP, it's not the original MSRP that Nvidia gave us when it was originally launched, which is supposed to be $599. 3070 Ti's, I've never seen them for that low unless it's a Founders Edition at Best Buy. Then yes, you will get it for $599, but those are much more limited to just Best Buy, very small sort of sample size. If you're talking about 3070 Ti's that show up on Newegg, that show up at B&H, places that people can order, maybe even places that are international, we're going to be at least $1,000 or so. Most of these are $950 to $979, so between $900 to $1,000 seems to be sort of the going rate of an MSRP 3070 Ti. Some of the better ones, like that MSI Supreme X, probably not a terrible deal at $950. I mean, a 3070 Ti is going to be better than a 3070, not by a huge amount, but definitely cheaper than what the 3080 is now. If you guys remember, 3080 was supposed to be $699, but right now the 3080 12GB, they sell from anywhere between $1,300 to $1,500. Very expensive, and we're not talking about a scalper tax. It's not your friendly neighborhood scalper selling them. We're talking about an actual store MSRP. Remember, Nvidia never made a Founders Edition of the 3080 12GB, just the original one. Such as EVGA and Asus can pretty much run away with the price as high as they think the market will accept. And the good news is that the market is not accepting much higher pricing now, because everything in general is down a significant amount. Now, who knows if it's more production? Obviously more are coming in, but the cryptocurrency mining demand has also decreased a pretty significant amount the last few months. performance, primarily due to the profitability of Ethereum that sort of moved a little bit, and that means probably big places stop buying bulk and a lot of GPUs. Therefore, they start showing up in the market, and I'm sure they're producing as much as they can as well. So that certainly made up a fairly big difference. Now, if you've been waiting for GPUs to be available at sort of reasonable prices, the price isn't extremely reasonable, but at least they're available from a store, so you're not technically paying like a scalper or anything like that. The question will really sort of be up to your own personal use case. Do you need a GPU now? Then it's a pretty good time. It's better than the last several months, the last year, to actually buy a GPU. But if you can hold off a little bit, RTX 4000 will be coming, but that's going to be coming with its own set of issues. First, we don't know how expensive RTX 4000 is going to be. And of course, it's going to perform better. That's pretty much a given, even if you don't see any benchmarks or anything like that. Just the assumption of a new generation. Usually it's 15-20% better. Maybe they can even do a much bigger performance improvement. Who knows? So we know it's going to perform better. The cost difference versus the existing RTX 3000 series lineup, that's where you have to ask the question. 4090, when that comes out, I'm sure that's going to be very expensive. No way they're going to price it like they did the original 3000 series. Like, we're not going to see a 699, 4080. That's going to come in basically at the price at least that the 3080 is now. So you can probably expect the 4080 to be something like $1,300 to maybe $1,500. Therefore, basically taking the place of what the 3080 Ti and 3090 are now. And those are going to creep right back up to $2,000 or above. So pricing is going to be very, very expensive. That's something to consider. If you can find an RTX 3000 at better pricing now, that's certainly something to think about. Second, we don't know what the availability is going to be like of these GPUs. What if it ends up being just as bad or worse than RTX 3000? A lot of things can happen up to that point with sort of especially cryptocurrency mining. Who knows if the demand will remain high? Who knows what the economy is going to do in general? The world is going through some big issues right now. So definitely a lot of unpredictable things, but one thing that is a fact, you have a much bigger selection of existing GPUs now. So if you need one now, it's going to be probably your best shot at actually getting it. In the future, will the prices go down? Not MSRP. I don't think that the prices the companies have set are going to change that quickly. After all, it took them actually quite a while to raise these prices. Nvidia had to re-release the 3080 as a 12GB model to really justify that price increase. So I think these higher prices are going to stay at least until the RTX 4000. Now, if that proves not to sell well, or if there are other issues going on, eventually they can start dropping the price then. But at least on the MSRP level, I don't really see any huge price decrease going on. Now, don't mistake that for, prices going down in general that are much above MSRP. Like, secondhand prices are going down. They still probably have more room to go down. For example, I used to see a 3080 Founders Edition for $1,800 like at the peak last year, sometimes even $2,000 on eBay. Now you can find them for a lot closer to like $1,200 or $1,300, which is still twice the MSRP, but they're going down. Maybe they can go down a little bit lower. Now those prices will, but MSRPs set by the companies, I think they'll stay more or less where they are. Maybe the good news is after they're purchased and used, maybe that secondary price may go down under MSRP. That's where I see a chance of some prices if you buy on the secondhand market. After all, right now, even if you buy a GPU and use it, if you got it at the MSRP, chances are it's going to be worth more anyway, regardless of use, just because they've been so difficult to get. So these are going to be things to consider. If you really think you need a GPU in the next few months, I would start to keep an eye on the market now. Wait a little more for more availability to come out. Maybe prices will change a little bit more, but I certainly wouldn't expect the prices to drop down much further than they are now. So now, in the next few months, maybe a good time to pick up a GPU if you really need it, because RTX 4000 and RDNA 3 from AMD, while they will bring better performance, no doubt about that, who knows what the pricing will be, availability. They may also bring with them many other issues that we can't foresee right now. Remember, power draw is going to be up a considerable amount. You may have to upgrade your power supply, especially for the higher end GPUs. They definitely seem like they're going to be pulling a lot of watts, a lot of heat, so certainly to consider as well. RTX 3000 is not particularly efficient, but it certainly is still within the realm of what most people can control in their builds, if we start seeing 500 or 600 watt GPUs, like even more than the highest M3090s now, certainly that's going to take its toll on your power. It's going to take its toll on heat in your system. You're going to have to sort of redesign everything to make sure these GPUs are properly powered and properly cooled. Alright guys, so let me know what you think about more GPUs coming in stock. Today was definitely the most that I've seen in a very long time. Let me know what you think. If you're gonna buy one now or continue to wait, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.